I think I was the first one to start talking about J. Michael Straczynski and the possibility of him becoming the next showrunner for Doctor Who. And he's now really lobbying for the job. I really think he wants it very, very badly, given his recent flurry of tweets. And you can see this right here. And we're going to get into this in just a moment and kind of unpack what this could mean and what's going to happen here. It is highly, highly possible at this juncture. The BBC does not know what to do with Doctor Who. They are in a position of big turmoil right now after the abject failure of this last season. And I don't think they can go forward with Russell T Davies as much as Russell T Davies might want to. We'll see exactly what's going on. Please hit the like and subscribe button as we talk about all things in science fiction here, especially Doctor Who. Really appreciate you guys being here. I am a science fiction writer myself, highly, highly, and heavily inspired by JMS's old work on Babylon 5. And that is really what got me into writing. He's honestly responsible for my career as much as he's become insufferable left-wing, kind of prick in the recent years. And so I took a lot of that ethos of what was going on with Babylon 5 with great characters, great world building, and I put it into my own space opera called the Aritian War. And this is a war between, of course, the Aritians and humans. There is a human spy who goes and embeds himself on an Aritian warship and tries to bring back information towards home to save Earth from this epic war. So please check this out. It's in the description below. There is a full trilogy, and it's available on ebook, print, and audio. I can't believe how many audiobooks we've sold this month. It's been huge, guys. Thank you guys so much for reading and for supporting the channel. There's a lot more on the way. I'm developing out this universe quite a bit, so stay tuned. It's in my newsletter if you want to grab my newsletter and stay in touch with me. Really appreciate you guys who do. It's in the description below, and thank you guys for being here. All right. So J. Michael Straczynski has been fueling rumors that are already going out there about the future of Doctor Who by stating he'd love to be a showrunner on the show, but nobody has approached him yet. Earlier this year, if you guys don't know, the creator of Babylon 5 announced he would be moving to the United Kingdom after a recent Babylon 5 reboot project stalled. He was careful not to divulge what he was working on, and he implied he might be doing a reboot of Blake 7. It's on his wish list. However, fans immediately speculated he might be working on another sci-fi property, Doctor Who, all because of the timing of what's happened and went down with Doctor Who right here. Now, I don't think Straczynski moved out there originally with the timing and with that in mind. I think it all kind of blew up around the same time. But honestly, there were rumblings about Doctor Who getting canceled even before Season 2 aired. Even last year, everybody was talking about how it was filmed already. They went into some reshoots and all that because Gatwa already wanted out at that point. And of course, Russell T Davies was of course trying to lobby for things, saying, there's no decisions until Season 2's done. There's no decisions being made yet. And with that, their Season 2 ratings came in, and they were atrocious. Even from the start, they were even worse than Season 1. And it's because if you look at it, Season 2's whole theme is about just being angry at the fans, just lashing out at people who love science fiction, trying to gaslight us within the script itself, like that we're bad people somehow for just noticing the poor quality of writing in this. And of course, we covered over the weekend how even the BBC at this point is mocking how stupid Doctor Who has been over the last couple of years. They did a sketch comedy on one of their radio programs called Dead Ringers on this. It was just dead on. It was a dead ringer for exactly what Doctor Who's become, and just the mocking of it was absolutely on point. Now, timing-wise, this works out because Straczynski, as I said, is already moving over. I think he started the process of moving over because of the election of Donald Trump. Oh my gosh. And he, of course, had a meltdown over that, like every other Hollywood celebrity, because if you're immigrating now or you're immigrating over the last couple of months, you started a paperwork process a long time ago. This is not something you can just up and move and do. And so I think he actually alluded to the fact that he started that process in November. So yes, it is a whole Trump derangement, the reason why he's leaving America to begin with. And of course, he's flouncing also because he's throwing a little fit about Babylon 5 not going where he wanted it to go. Those things are both happening as well. But the timing just works out on this level. And so here's what he's saying about it. And he's been tweeting about it quite a bit. Now, this came from Doctor Who Production News originally, saying, because J. Michael Straczynski is coming to the UK to work on a production, people have been speculating that it's Doctor Who. Straczynski said on Blue Sky and Reddit he's not working on Doctor Who. And that's, somebody said, it's too good to be true. Guys, as much as, again, I have nostalgia for Babylon 5. Like I said, the guy really inspired my career, and I've been to many talks of his and actually learned how to write a lot because of what he was talking about. he's changed over the years. He's not the same writer he was. If you've looked at any of his recent output in the last 10, 15 years, it's not been good. It's been just terrible identity politics fueled stuff. He did this whole like anti-Trump weird thing comic during the pandemic that was very, very weird. Of course, Sense8 on Netflix, if you watch that with the Wachowski brothers, who now call themselves sisters, was really, really just over the top, LGBT fetish porn, and it was pornographic. It was really bad. And so that's kind of what he does now. And so I wouldn't want him to take Doctor Who at this juncture, and I wouldn't view it as too good to be true. It would be if this was 90s Straczynski before he went off the rails, but he's gone way off the rails at this point. Yeah, I have to report this in case people don't know. And so it wouldn't be a too good to be true situation. It would be a pretty bad situation. And I think it would be, whereas Russell T Davies has, of course, the heavy identity politics and the heavy messaging that is just very, very poorly written and phoned in. It's because Russell T Davies is partying and living that gay lifestyle. And I think because of that, he has that. So what you would get is a much angrier version of that with Doctor Who, which is even less fun to watch if Straczynski actually took the helm here. And so, as you see, it's true. He's quite angry with the person posting false information, and what they're not referring to me here. He's referring to the Tachyon Pulse podcast, who interacts with him for some reason. I think Straczynski might have finally blocked him, maybe not. But that guy's also been on top of reporting Straczynski's move because he does Star Trek, Babylon 5, Doctor Who news on his channel as well. I like that channel quite a bit. And that guy has been speculating about it. And Tachyon Pulse has not been posting any false information. In fact, all of his information on this whole topic has come out to be true so far. And of course, over here, we've got a BBC insider who's been telling us information about things too. All of our information came out to be true as well. But yes, this sort of thing that's happening right here is him just lashing out. And this is very weird. Like, I've noticed this in science fiction a lot, that like when people piece things together and have insiders who talk about information that's real, the higher-ups, like Straczynski or whatever, when you're not supposed to find out about it, they have this kind of like boomer mentality about things that's like, it's only supposed to come from official sources, and my NDA says this, rather than like getting in the social media world. And Straczynski made a weird post about Doctor Who as well, because somebody was saying, please just like don't do the Jodie Whittaker crap anymore with the female doctor. And he posts in response going, don't give me story ideas because I will not be able to use them legally. And it's like, that's not a story idea. That's just somebody saying like, hey, it's a fan saying we hate the current direction of Doctor Who. And we'd expect something different if you were coming in. And so like, this is again, an 80s, 90s mentality where it's like, they put themselves up on a pedestal above the fans where it's like, you are not allowed to talk to me. You do not discuss story ideas in my presence. And it's like, okay, get over it. This is the modern era. And as an author, like I look at this type of stuff and I see that kind of attitude and I'm just like, it is so just talking down to the audience, just acting like they're just stupid. And the opposite, like, when I get feedback on something, when somebody says, I'd like to see a little bit of this, I keep that in mind because I want my audience to be happy. And this is kind of, I guess, where these people go off the rails. They don't like their audience. They think the audience is stupid. And so they want a different modern audience, right? And so they treat people like this. So this person then says, I'm intrigued because I enjoyed Babylon 5. And I think that's where a lot of people would be at because we did enjoy Babylon 5. But unfortunately, like I said, Straczynski's not where he used to be on this stuff. He's not the writer he used to be. He's definitely lost his fastball over the years, and it's because of just his wanton identity politics. So he comes here and he says, not correct. I'm not working on and not working on anything because there has simply been no conversations either way because I'm just getting into the swimming pool. Nothing is included or precluded. All options are open. So again, this is talking to a fan just in a condescending manner about this. And he's not working on Doctor Who and not working on Doctor Who. And so this is where he starts this conversation. He's clearly lobbying for the job, right? And he's trying to, my options are open if the BBC contacts me, wink, wink. But he's not talking to the fan. He's talking past the fan. This is, again, I hate this attitude by these people. It's really, really sad about this point. This guy said something really nice. I mean, I loved Babylon 5. He's working on something else. I look forward to finding out what it is. Obviously, Straczynski's working on something else, so that's true. That's not correct. Yet he says that at the same time. I mean, like, Straczynski has always said that he writes every single day. So if that's actually true, he is definitely working on something else, and he's probably in talks. You don't just move and immigrate to a country working on nothing. They don't allow you to do that. So that's something interesting that we got here. And then somebody says, at least consider trying to write for Doctor Who if the opportunity comes up. And he poses it like this. I suppose the question is, would Doctor Who fans be willing to accept an American, even a hardcore Anglophile with a UK visa, for such an inherently British series given Babylon 5 and Sense8 and the like? Why would I be worthy? And so, yeah, again, lobbying for the job because everybody goes, oh yeah, Babylon 5 is the best. And he's got a huge UK following of Babylon 5 also. So this is definitely riling up the fan base, trying to get the BBC to make a move, and it very carefully worded on this because he's also like pretending this is a humble brag, right? He's like, I'm humble. I'm just a humble American. Am I worthy of Doctor Who? I only did Babylon 5, right? Come on. It's ridiculous. And yes, of course, at this point, like we've what they rejected was a Nigerian Doctor Who, as far as an actor goes. But the reason that was rejected was probably not because of his Nigerian status. It was just because he didn't match the Doctor as a character. He was a black gay dude playing a black gay dude, which doesn't feel right for the show. Straczynski, in theory, would do some science fiction, put some science fiction bona fides back into the show. And so, of course, like just from his resume, he'd be a logical choice for it at this point. Somebody else said, I was assuming you might hear to be the next Doctor Who showrunner. It seems like good timing and a good fit. Not trying to gossip or stir up shit against the current Doctor Who regime. We just like your work. Everybody should call out the current Doctor Who regime. They are terrible. And all the fans... Look, even with this, like, this guy's trying to be, like, super, like, passive on this because, everybody hates the current Doctor Who. Everybody. And he says, totally get that. Just wanted to manage expectations and be clear. I would love nothing more in life than to take on that job. It'd be the thrill of a lifetime, but we'll see. So this is all the lobbying that he's done that's gone on. So now it's like very much like, I want this, BBC, it's in your court. But I've already given the warning here. This guy is not what he used to be. It's going to be the same incessant identity politics thrown into this that he does into everything else these days. He's just an angry, bitter old dude. And I think that like this Babylon 5 fact that the reboot got just canned over at Amazon and the like just kind of broke him again because he's tried so many times. And if you watch my video on Babylon 5 a couple weeks ago, you know what that's like. So I don't have high hopes for this. And in fact, I hope the BBC doesn't go here with it. But unfortunately, it does seem like the logical move to do. So I would expect it to probably happen unless Russell T Davies, for whatever reason, has some weird kind of like blackmail on BBC produced. Maybe he does. Those lifestyles. Very interesting stuff. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Guys, check out my Stars Entwined on Amazon. Really appreciate you being here and supporting great science fiction. This is in the description below. Thank you for reading. We'll be back soon.